On a Sunday morning, four friends from college days, we met up, breakfast. And as friends do, we discussed so many topics in the world, starting with national politics, state politics, weather, what is happening in the family. And then our conversation steered towards careers, what is happening at workplace. And one of my friends who works with a reputed IT company, he shared an interesting observation. He said, I am noticing that these days, a lot of young professionals, they are demanding senior roles and asking higher salaries. And more surprising is that some of them are getting it. And this particular observation got all four of us thinking that what it takes for one to be successful in today's professional world, what it takes for a professional to grow in this world, what it takes for a professional to not only survive but thrive in today's world. And we enthusiastically discussed for the next half an hour or more about many aspects around this. And out of that discussion, four significant factors emerged. And I'm going to share those four significant factors with you. What makes a professional successful in today's world and thrive in today's world? The first point that came up was adaptability to the environment. Adaptability is the first skill one needs to develop. What does adaptability mean? Adaptability means understanding what is happening around you and then aligning yourself to that environment. There are so many changes happening around us. And when we are talking about the workplace, so many changes can happen. Reorgs can happen. Restructuring in the organization happens. These days, in fact, it is very frequent. Mergers and acquisitions can happen. Your boss can change. Adapting to the changing environment or to the changed environment is very, very important in today's world. Also, expectations from your role may change over a period of time. You need to understand that very clearly and then align yourself according to that. Staying in a comfort zone without being aware of changes in the environment is detrimental to your success and growth. So that's the first factor, adaptability, very, very important. The second factor is agility in learning. Agility in learning. This is also related to the first point of adaptability. But agility in learning in itself is a very distinct and important point in today's world. Why? Because technology is changing very fast. Business landscapes are changing very fast. Customer expectations are changing, increasing. In fact, customers are demanding more. Also, new regulations and compliances may be required. Globalization, increasing globalization has changed the dynamics of the different industries. In fact, all across the industries, the dynamics have changed. So agility in learning is very important. Example that comes to my mind is that when I worked in the IT industry for 18 years, in the initial years, the model that was used for software development was primarily the waterfall model. Then in the later years in my career, the agile processes or agile development became the norm. And then later on, DevOps and other emerging trends became the norm. They became the de facto standards. So things are changing. One has to learn these new things and new skills to stay competitive, stay relevant. The third important factor is how are you marketing your value proposition? Marketing your value proposition as a professional. Gone are those days when one could only rely on their number of years of experience, saying that, okay, I have these many years of experience, I can easily retire from this company. Gone are those days. Things are changing very fast. We talked about that a few moments ago. What is required in today's world is, do you have the necessary skills? Do you have the necessary expertise? And are you marketing that as a value proposition that you can create for your organization? What are the unique skills you have? What are the unique expertise you have? What problems can you solve? That is what is required to be communicated very, very clearly in your day-to-day interactions within your organization. Also on your profile, on LinkedIn or in your resume, it has to be reflected that what value do you bring to the table as a professional. Also during, if you are giving interviews, then during your interviews also, it has to come out very clearly that what value proposition you can bring to the table. In fact, I know that organizations today, when they conduct interviews for evaluating candidates for promotion, they call those interviews as value proposition interviews. So that's the third important factor. How do you communicate, market your value proposition? And the fourth, last but not the least, the fourth important factor is, are you constantly looking out for the right opportunities to learn and grow? You can look for those opportunities to learn and grow within your organization, from your peers, from your network. You can look out for those opportunities. And it is very important that you are constantly learning, constantly reskilling yourself, constantly relearning, and also looking out for opportunities even before they become center stage. To give you an example, in this discussion that we had amongst our friends, one of my friends who works as an IT leader in one of the reputed manufacturing companies, he said IoT, which is Internet of Things, is becoming a norm, is becoming a necessity in his area. So understanding that as a trend which is emerging and learning about that is an opportunity that you can tap into. So not only focus on what you already know, also focus on the best practices in the industry. Read about the thought leaders. Read about what's happening outside your organization. Who are the thought leaders in your industry? What are the emerging trends, best practices? And then learn from that. Look out for those opportunities. So these four things in summary. The first factor is your adaptability, adapting to the environment around you, and the changes, especially the changes around you, is very important. First skill. The second skill is agility in learning, quickly learning the new skills. The third skill that we spoke about is marketing, communicating your value proposition effectively through various channels of communication. And the fourth one is looking out for opportunities, not only within your organization, but also outside of your organization, even using social media platforms such as LinkedIn to learn and grow. So these four skills, if you develop and continuously practice, you can not only survive, but thrive in the professional world today. I hope you found this useful. So please share your comments, subscribe to this channel, and like this video if you really found it useful.